Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Let's start in the deck. You see, if I rush these videos, then, like, I have to be as precise as I can be, no matter how long it takes. But nobody has all the time. It's hard to get all the time. I'm just always online. I'm just always here. My mouth doesn't shut up. I spoke more about stuff that people don't even really care or look at than I ever spoke about anything that was important in my entire life, other than, do you have any money? Other than, let's go out and party? Other than, what's for me? I don't care about you. Actually, I was never like that. But I want to show you a couple of things. One of the things is this one over here. See the body? See, we have the arm. Looks like a V. Have the arm. Looks like a V. Inside the V, it stinks. Your armpits. Your legs, between the legs where the V is, stinks. But on top of your head, you're okay. It's a dome. Father left you a dome. He gave you a head. You can play inside your head because Father can watch you all the time. The hockey rink. One side has been rounded out. I just showed you the corners a little bit different. Every hockey rink's a little bit different. We need two hockey rinks actually to play, but we play on the same one. We call it left wing and right wing. Brings us one bird. In hockey, is one of the rare games is you get 1 point for the goal, but then there could be somebody who assisted you. Now, if it was the third guy, they don't count it. Third guys don't count. Only first and second guys who count. The two brains on the side and you in the center. See the spider teeth? At the same time, this is you. See the number 7 and the number 7? The thinking cat, the cross of who you are? That cross goes all the way down. Your nose seems to go all the way down. Somehow you breathe and it has to go all the way down through you, that breath. I don't know how. Do you see the person within here? This is a solid line. This one is broken up. Two sides, because two sides of who you are. The clavicle keeps you together. If your body's a heart shape, well, good for you. But you've been put together by the two canes. Have you ever seen the Egyptian canes like this? Or the T with the long beard, and it comes out the other side. The blue has turned into gold. When you breathe, the energy, whichever way it is, if I was a scientist, I can probably give you a better answer to this, but when you breathe, they go into you, and they light up your life. Every time you breathe, it lights up your life. It's an energy. What you can see outside of you, because you're seen into molecules. There's just tons of molecules in front of you. What am I going to say out of this? No, this is not the deck of cards that I wanted. You're Jack, okay? You become Jack because has anybody ever seen Stumble Upon? Well, the Stumble Upon sign, okay, shows you how two sides work. It only shows you one side. I'm not sure which to show you. I'm a little bit all over the place. I did want to show you this first. Israel, I-S-R, well, E-A-L I can put. Israel, Israel, I put Israel. I, 1, 5, 1. 74 and 77 is 151. 47 times 33 of Christ equals 151. 512 I, 512, 9, 95 is part of the Einstein theory of 1 and 2. Do you know why? Because 1 and 2 turns into the energy, the cyclone energy that runs into the 3 dice, where there's one up here, one over here, and one over here to the two sides of your body. Or it shows you the 3 worlds, one up here, one here, and one here, and it says H inside the 3 dice because of the letters that come up because of the dots on the cards. Inside the 3 are 2, 5, and 8, which is B, E, and H. And H has the 2 sticks on it, 1 and 1 stick. So when it says B, E, and H, it's not B, E, and H. It's B, E, and L, okay? Because the E brings you your energy all the way from B, all the way. This is your energy. This is your light, because it's this way. The B is the first row. Excuse me, it's this way. The B is the first row. The E is the second row. But B and E, 2 and 5, Venus plays inside Jupiter. 1 and 1. See the I? 1 and 1. It's these two C's, CI and C. Could be sick. Okay? 3, 1, 3. That's the piano rotation. 3, 1, and 3. 5, 1, and 2. 5, 1, and 2 memory from Israel. 5, 1, and 2. And here, 5, 1, and 2. This A can say I, and this I can say A. Because 1 and 9 in pool, it doesn't matter if you say stripes or solid. They're still the same. Keep A over here as 1. You have 121, which is 11, 11. I don't know how it works in electricity. You keep it over here, you have 15. That creates your egg, A and E. The two sides of the egg, and this part in the center of the egg. Why? Because wherever the center of the egg is, it's that yolk. It's this one over here. 512, the fifth letter, and 112. Do you know what this does? Even this is your left wing part of your mind, okay? What this does is 1 times 2 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. That creates 5. That's 5 and 5. You've now created the two sides of your mind in one. You have 55. L is her. Her meaning Venus in French. 512 here, 512 here. I and A and I says in the 10. 1, 512, 0, 512, 1, 512, 0, 512, and over and over and over. Why will you say it over and over and over? Because on your telephone, over here is 4, over here is 6. So it goes around and around. The other way, this way, okay, where this is the 21. 21 takes up two sides. You have 1, 2, and 1 this way. 1, 2, and 1 this way. Is that the way it is? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the center one is 5. Right over here. Center one is 2. Next to it is 15. And next to it is 15. You got 1, 5, 1. You got, 12, blah, 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 blah. It looks like a 5 if you take a look at it, okay? So this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. This one becomes the 2. On this side of it is 1 and 5. This one is the 2. The fourth letter, 1, 2, 3, 4. On this side, okay, on this side of it becomes 1 and 5. 1 and 5 are in each side. 2 eggs. 1 egg is the I, 1 is the L. 9, 1, and 2. 9, 1, and 2 is what comes, okay, when you connect 9 and 8, because 9 is 8. 9 and 8 are the same thing. It's just the other way, showing two sides of the mind to the one body in between, to the one heart. 1024 is when you get 2 of them. This one is a 1. This one is a 9. This one is a 1. Create your 10. But they're just your 5 12s together gives you 1024. The X in Roman numerals is 10. 24th letter is 10. You add them together, it's 34. It stands for O-N and E, and 34 is Earth and Mars, the triangle and the square that come together, because the square is actually a 0. The square is a 0. Okay? And 0 is the entirety of the center of everything. So because it's the center of both halves, it becomes half and half to each half. So therefore 0 average would be 15. 15, 15, and 15 equals to 45. But when you're at that totality of 0, the X goes between the two sides, so you can connect both sides to who you are. And then you become this, the holder of OXO. And at the same time, these are your 2 arms, your 2 hemispheres between your legs. We haven't come up here. We put another one here. We have space stations on our body. 512, 1024, what is it? What is it in electricity? Does anybody know about Bell? We just spoke about it. 5 and 2 is Bell. Here's your standing L. It's your wing. It stands for number 12. The center of your phone, 4, 5, and 6, or 2, 5, and 8, each equal to 15. Here's your 15. The left-hand side of 1, 4, and 7, where Mercury, Mars, and Uranus get together, is the light of your life. But you come together as 3, 6, and 9. Third planet is the letter E, the energy of Earth, what Venus and the energy of Earth come into Venus, divided up by the 2 worlds, and make man live. We are a processor. In French, They have told us, and the only way to get this way with 1 and 9, and we've seen in pool the 1 and 9 come together. But they showed us that 3 and 4 do not have the letter U. They showed us they both have the A and R, and the difference between the two of them is 1 and 3 and 5, because the M is the 1 and 3, the 13th letter. The E is the 5th. 1, 3, and 5 say ace. In pool, the 5 and the 13 are orange. It so shows us, it speaks. Is it for the yellow sun? Man is the yellow sun, but he burns the orange sun with his red blood of the blue air, of his yellow pea, however that works and salts inside of his body. 10 and 24 makes 34 the way we got it. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals 7 and 12. That 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 7 and 3 is Nibiru. 37 is the numbers you use in the French roulette before you're coming all the way down to earth. But you don't need all your legs when you're up there. You only need one leg, the peg leg. That's all you got to do is move around your peg leg and put it in the area you need to for your thinking. So your bells and your stars and your bell, what I did and I showed you before, okay, I just removed the line because the line comes from within. It's two different worlds. It's the I world where you stand, H. This is how H represents itself. H is I. It represents itself this way in this world. It's the center core. It's your Christ. You see, this is your Christ crossed right over here. This is your X. Looks like poached eggs for service. Why? Because this joins two sides, your two legs and your two arms. You crisscross at the heart of Superman. You see the way the two deltas came in? They look like two fish or two lambs. If I put a tail and an eye, you know, they're always supposed to dress up to be something. This can be a lamb. This can be a bird. See the little tail of the lamb? Another thing I wanted to mention, weed, numbers is 420. In French, they say it's special 420. They go 420. They say 420s. Sounds like 420. So that's why weed in French sounds like weed, because the gray, the Marvin Gardens must grow. If you don't smoke weed, you don't open the mind. We have to have these bull sessions. Come in here and see what we see. But because I believe in the world I'm in, for me it's a little bit different. Because I believe in it. I trust it. I trust what I speak. I know that there's errors. I know there's adjustments. But I know there's only truth. Only reality. She sells sea shells by the sea shore. Why all the S's? And it's E and L. The sea she shells, the cell she sees. She doesn't see anything, but she sells by the sea. She sells seashells. So anyways, we got onto this. We were talking about 80. Now let's go to 80, okay? QV is 80, says Queen and Jack in French, and says number 39. 3 sets of cards of 13 each equals to the 39. 1 set of cards is the diamond. The diamond is your tic-tac-toe. That sets itself to how many areas in the tic-tac-toe? 2, 4, 6, 8 areas in tic-tac-toe. This 39 goes into 8 areas, plus the center. Everybody knows 6 and 8 come into this world. You use 6 or 8 over here. 5 and 1 makes your 6, but the opposition of your 6 is 8. Brings you 8 of 8. Here's your 420. Here's your 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 plus 8 is 16. The total is 80. 6 by 4 is 24. 6 plus 4 is 10. We're back to the piano, the 88 world. When you say left and right, when you say in French right, it's with a D. When you say right in English, it's with an R. Third. Third. 18 and 22, Grover Cleveland on one side. How do we get to 24? 18 and 6. But anyways, let's get back to the chess game. 488. 8 by 8 is 8 and 8 is 16. But another way to get to 16 is 4 times 4. 8-4, April, Obama, 48. It's this year. The 48 Super Bowl is this year. 80, okay, 40, wheat. Q and H, okay, is coming this year. Q and H equals to 25. That number does not include 3 and 4. That's the number to Jack. This is also the addition of a king, okay, which is the 13th card, and a queen, the 12th card. King and queen. And in the numbers, in the alphabet, the king and queen are 17 and 11, equals to 28. The same thing if you're talking in French for king, which is a roi, which is the R18, plus the queen is a D for a dame, means a queen. Okay, so the king value of the R versus the K is larger because man is walking man. He's the resident angel. 18 and 4 makes 22. Back to Grover Cleveland again. 28 is man. The total is 50 between the two. We were talking about 8 times 8 and 8 plus 8, the way it created 80. The way 80, okay, inside 80, you represent one of the moons inside of 80. At 99, which is said, 80, 19, you are saying 4 times 20 plus 19. No, 4 times 20 and 10 and 9 is what you're saying inside of this. When you come to 79, one more before this, it starts all the way off at 60. The minute you hit 60 all the way to 100, you always have the representation twice because they're back to back, they connect. 79 and 99. But in 99, you must say 80. In 79, you must say 60. And just like in the cards, 6, 7, and 8, they're all the same cards except for the 7th gate, in which the 7th gate, okay, the 7th gate, okay, imagine this was your body, but everything turns. The minute you go into one area, it turns. You see the time clock on each side? So where would be the 7th gate? You see the number here, 7? See the number here, 7? Where are your 7s? The 7th gateway. Maybe there's more than one gateway for number 7. I don't know exactly how it works. Here's your W. Here's your W over here. Okay? Here's your O. Here's your W. 15, you can look at this as your B. B one way, W the other way because of the line. Warner Brothers. This becomes your tic-tac-toe board. This square piece in the middle becomes your tic-tac-toe. First base, second base should be here, third base should be here, and home plate if you're playing baseball. Let's say this is the pitcher's mound. So you should be on the pitcher's mound all the time. So now we were talking 19, okay, is represented in the first area under 50 one time. But over 50, okay, it's represented twice. But man in creation is 3. The world which he comes is 4. There's 4 corners to every round. 90 degrees times 4 equals 360 degrees. He can hear what's behind him, but he doesn't see what's behind him. He hears. He can smell from wherever it comes. But he doesn't have to know from where it's coming as long as it's coming into his nose. We have 4 suits in the deck of cards. We have 4 periods of 91 days, which equals to 364. 364 divided by 28 is 13 moons. MAN equals to number 13. This one on every side is equal to 13. The center one is 14. 13 and 14, IR. Like IRD, which THIRD, time heaven, let the time begin. The roulette board, I wanted to talk about the roulette board. In the roulette board, it shows 57.75. This is a corn. This is corn on the cob. You know what it says? It says wheat turkeys. Wheat turkeys. That says 8 turkeys. 75. This says orphans. ORCHIUS, ORCHIUS, or whatever you want to call it. But that's where we come from. That OR, that constellation of ORCHIUS or something, that's where we come from. Okay? Lazarus, that's another connection. And Laser Lipa of Superman, that's another connection, because Laser Lipa is to leap high and have laser beam eyes. That's in French, and that's my Hebrew name, Raphael ben Laser Lipa. Just joking around. You see at the beginning, just like in pool, 9 and 1. Then you have the egg, 31 and 20, and then you're sitting on the cross. The total is 75, G and E. In the bottom one of 57, which is your 3 moons of 19, 19, 19, 19, in which expressly, again, the same 2 numbers, these numbers will equal to this. Okay, so I was just doing a little calculation. 5 times 7 is 35. 3 and 5, Earth, Jupiter. 3 and 5, 3 by 5, 3 plus 5 equals 15 and 8. The highest ball in pool and the 8 ball. 8 and 6, 8 is the black ball, 6 is the man living in the game of the black ball. 15 equals 6 and 5 versus the 8 ball. Matrix robotics, man as matrix robotics, A and E world. The 8th world, this is a solid, man is the stripe. There's a total over here, 5 times 7 is 35, 5 plus 7 is 12, the total is 47, 47, 74, times 13 moons equals 62, 062, the queen of the dog pound. 29 and 29 the opposite way, says it of it. 6 and 2 is 8. 6 and 2 is 808 for bicycle cards. 1776. Why 1776? Take a look at these numbers in order. Number 17, number 3 and 4, number 6. This adds up to 7. 1776. This is a combination. Why? Because 7 and 6, 7 and 3, 6 and 4 is the combination of 10, 10. This is the prism within the sandbox that works the mind of man. 1 and 7, which means the 8 ball and the 7 balls, and the 6. 6 of 8. When we check this over here, this becomes 8, 7, 6. 8, 7, 6 in the cards are all the same. They're all the same. They're all the same, except for the moons. Excuse me, the moons over here, this one here and this one here. You notice in this one here, you have 4 here, your box here. Here's home plate, first base, second base, third base. This is the outfield. Actually, it should be going this way. That's the way it's supposed to go. Look in between. Look at the white. Don't look at the red. Try and look at the white. Don't you see the animal? Don't you see the animal's nose, his eyes and his ears? Don't you see the 2 animals? These go together. So we had this. So this is right on the roulette table and says Orpheus. Maybe that's constellation. Okay? This one adds up to 75 we showed you. This one becomes 8 of 6 of 3 and 4. Mars and Earth. It's the prism within that runs the 7th gate. The 3 and 4 7th gate. This is the light. The 1 and the 6 create the 7 light. It's not the 6. The 6 might only be a passage. The passage, the division, beta splits herself up. She becomes areas and passages, something like that. Okay? So then we have 75 divided by 5 numbers is 25. That's the number in chat. This one's divided by 3 numbers. It's 19. Wow. We hooked up to the moon again. 512 memory. Why 512? Because 12 creates the 5. How? 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals 5. We now have 7 and 5 in the same area. 7 times 5, 7 plus 5 equals to the 47 again, between the light of 1 and 6. This equals to 5 and 7. 12. 12, 12, 24. 1 and 1 is 2. 7 and 5. Excuse me. 7 and 5 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. It creates 3, 3. 3, 3 one side, 3 to the other side. For me, that's Lovejoy. H, 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 and H is the way I see it. This is on the roulette right now. They made it very famous, this setup. But they don't show this, of course. They just show the numbers. This is what's in between. O-N-E is this. Hot and cold water is this. The president now and the president then was Barack Obama is this. Christ, 34, 43 added, 77 is this. The 7 times 7 world of the in-between space of Barack Obama is this. This is what I've been waiting for. This is on the roulette. Look it up online right now. Look it up right now. And the Lord, she sings Grey Goose. Why is man a long-necked goose? A long-necked goose? You know why? We see everything. But all you're supposed to see that the goose has, okay? All you have to see of the goose, we don't need. Why do we need all this? The goose doesn't need it. A long-necked goose is because if you follow actually our pineal gland and everything, you'll come to our head and our head will stop right about here. Like we have all this as an extra. So I showed you this. I didn't tell you about Monopoly. Right next to Go, okay, every corner from Monopoly, okay, is 3 and 3, 3 and 3, and 3. The next corner is not a 3 and 3 because it's a go to jail. It's a hole. You go right into the hole. Monopoly board must stop right there. That's the 31st property, the 30th on the dice, 61 moons of Saturn, plus you, the light of who you are, 62 moons. The other way, it's number 11. 11 and 10. Why 11 and 10? It's 11 and 10 because from Go, it's the 11th position, but it's the 10 on the dice equaling to 21. The 21 is the dice cube. It's the cube of who you are. The cube, your major cube over here. We're not talking about the rest of your body, okay? We need one major cube to make you all do all the decisions, to make your parts work. So yes, so and the other corner is is Go, and Go corner, okay, is 2 and 2, or 202. Why 202? Because Park Place to Boardwalk, there's nothing in between. It's 2 away. 1, 2. And the same thing for the Mediterranean and the Baltic. What makes the Baltic? What is the ticker? Was the ticker the Tin Man who wanted a heart? So it's made out of tin, our ticker? But the gold somehow seems to be up here or in here. Because once you squeeze the wax together, it becomes one. It all becomes one. So the gold, however they're using that gold, it's joining the two brains. So now, if there's really a brain underneath this earth, they need to use that gold to splice together the vibrations for the two of them, so it seems like it's only one and not two. Were they allowed to do that? How did they do it? Did they do it to us? Well, they do it to the brain they have, and then that brain, which is a match for our DNA, has to vibrate over to us, because there might be a bell is under the ground, but they also put posts up to send it into the stars. So we come down into the ground, and then we send it back up into the star system, because star backwards is rats. And what are you picking your nose for? Something about a bell. I'll knock your clock off. They're always, you got to use all these expressions. Okay? The arms and the legs, what should they be? Well, you know what? I have to work with somebody else on that. But long neck goose is like this. Here's your head, created like a D, and here's your butt. This is your 8. 8, 5, 5, 8. Because 8 has to function here and 8 has to function here. 2-hole, 2-hole. Venus and Neptune. This is your skull, your 8th skull. 4 and 4. Mars is the sandbox of 4, so it's got to be 4 and 4. Jupiter is 6. It's 1/3 less than 8 of what Neptune is. In the NFL, if I'm correct, there's 53 and 1/3 yards of width of the field. 1/3. Why? Because the number 17, because the number 18, and the number 19 come up 3 times. So for one of the reasons, it's the width of the field, and 10 must be added to one of it. Why? Because in French, DIX, which now the moons of Pluto now have I and X in it, and right away I know Pluto's inside of us. I know, just because of the I and X. In Rubik's, in 6. So what was I talking about? 5 and 2, the 19, yes. So we have 10. So 3 areas we go 29, 29, 29. And by the way, 2992 is yellow, but it's 29, 20, 29, 29 here, 29 here, 29 here, 29 here. 3 ways create both sides. So we're going to do it broken up. 29 and 29 is 58. It represents 2 worlds. Okay? It represents the IT world, the cunning world of the fox, which is probably the scientists working on man's brains. And it represents the 1 in the gematria tree, which 1 through 36 equals the 666, in which number 1 is 58 points of that total. How do I know? Just do it this way. 58, 62, 66, 72, 70, 74. 74 is the central. 1.5 times that was the roof of the Twin Towers. 78, 82, 86 where man is. The number 86 where man is in the Neptune era. And 90 is where your birth is. 0 equals 15. 9 times 15 is 135. Divided by the 2 hemispheres of your minds. Add up 1, 2, 3 for all of them because of the 3 worlds you're in. You're 777. Okay, become 1 world of 10. 1, 2, and 3. 135, 135 is 270 plus 3. But you need the light. So screw the 3 because that's for your head. You need the light, you need the 1 and 6. So that makes 277 or October 4th in a non-leap year. This year we blow the horn on October 4th in a non-leap year. And where the holiday ends on the second half of our second New Year's of the year. Because our calendar, I have to call 2 New Year's. If this guy said 2, 1, that one said 1, I'll say 2. Why not? I go all the way to 12. I didn't see 12 on my hand. I didn't even see 6. I see 5 and 5. But don't I count for something? I count for 10. 10 and 5, 10 and 5. Because it's my personal opinion that's worth twice as much than a hand in the bush. Well, mind you. Shouldn't be thinking that way right now. Oh, well, that's okay. Hand in the bush. Thought I was thinking about something else, didn't you? A little rub of the chin. Tickle my fancy. So where else am I going to go? So I was still talking about the roulette. Now what I want to get off, I'm just going to jump to something real short. 2, 5, 2, 2, 2. It's her world. If you bring it down to the reality of what you are, 2, 4, 6, and 8, 5 is the coming of the light because the light passes through the 5 position. The 5 position of 1 corner and 1 corner and 1 corner and 1 corner. There's your 5-4 sun lighting up 2, 2, 2, and 2, which is the dome of Neptune. 5 and 2 is 7, 5 and 2 is 7, 5 and 2 is 7, 5 and 2 is 7. 9, 9. 9 by 9 is 81 equals to Venus. 2, 5, 7. 2, 5, 7, 9. 9 and 2 on this side, 9 and 2 on this side. Yellow and black, the bumblebee. This is how it all begins. There is no 9, there is no 10. Okay? I mean there is no 10 unless you're in the middle. Your 10 is in the middle. 5 and 2 and 2 plus the 5 of who you are. 5 and 5 is 10, 12, 14. You're 14 now. You're crisscrossing. Every time you crisscross, you cost a 5. One level comes in through 5, the other level goes over through 5. Somehow the windpipe is on an angle and you got to light up that crystal ball. Then you got the disco light at the top, or the disco skull, or the disco moon. Have you ever heard of green and red? You and you, the two tablets that Moses carried down, you and you. But take a look. It's the letter M. It's M that loves both sides. The brain on one side, to the nose in the center, to the mind. Your two eyes, your two tablets, okay? This is in the center. It supports this. This is your nose that sticks out. It supports this. You breathe and you inhale within. You see within. C and D. C, okay, and D. If you take number 13, 1 times 3 and 1 plus 3 will equal your CD. That'll make you your ACCD. At the same time, it'll give you this 2, 5, and 8. This one will say the H world of DAC. You have to figure it out. AC, something to do with this, I do not know. There's an H missing here. Agi says to live and to, I can't actually say what it is, but to be able to function. To be able to function. The king's crown. One of the reasons for the R on the king's crown, that's right, I forgot about that. But when you put the D as your head, because you're flat in the back, and here's your D as your head, okay? And your feet is the jack that takes you everywhere. Your body is the queen over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 spots of the queen. And in the center is a diamond. Diamonds are a girl's best friend because the diamonds of the queen puts everything together. 5 and 5. The 10 card, okay, the 10 card has to, right now the way I'm looking at it, must be female. Because there's 2 worlds of 5 and 5. And she's the only one being a female that can carry something inside of her, because a man doesn't carry anything inside of him. So the R is for the wa, which connects, your walking sticks connect the 2 sides of your body. So it's just a crown, okay? It's the crown. But the D is the mind. The queen again goes to be your mind. Or the V, which is the jack, which is only the holder of the light. Jack, the holder of the light, right over here, through your neck. Now, I'm just assuming. The last thing before I go, Einstein, number 95, the first 2 letters, E and I, create the 3rd letter. The first 2 letters create E and I, create the 3rd letter. The E is in the I. ST is 39. Spirit, angel, and man, 11 and 11. 5, 2, and 6 is the doghouse, and we end up creating S and T. We also create 1776, but we're not getting into that right now. Is there anything else I wanted to do? Well, this is 38 minutes. I've got another 3 videos coming, if I can stay up for it. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. I just wanted to show you one other piece before I go. See the body? See the V? The lemon? The V for your legs? The 11 or 2 aces here, 2 aces here with your hands down and your hands up. You see, your legs do nothing. Once you got your hands in your head, you can do everything. You don't need to go anywhere. You got your hands up, you got the 0 in between. You got your hands by your side. You have the 52, 2 worlds. 5 and 2 come together to create your head. 5 is the electronic. 2 is the Venus, the division. And I believe part of Earth. Why? Because in the 3 dice is a number 2. And when you go to the bathroom, when they say number 2, they don't say a number 3. The 1 has to come together in the 3 to create Venus to move. So she would be the Earth part of it. Is she the Earth part of it? Or she's the skull, the bones. Earth is over here in the number 3 position and already made up with water. So I'm still trying to figure out this lady, because she is number 5 and 2. That's 100%. And upside down, she becomes the 7th gate, because they become 77 between them. The 2 worlds of the 6 and 1 light that light up the skull. So I'm still working on that. The other thing, like I said before, 17, 18, and 19. It comes to be at 60. And it comes at 90. The NFL size of the field, I think it's the NFL, is 53 1/3, because of 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. That'll make up 54. And 54 is the sun. So one of them has to be the referee, one has to be the people on the field, and the other one might be the coach. I don't know. But 5 and 3 is the Earth and Jupiter. So what does that mean, Earth and Jupiter? Jupiter is the electronics, it's a communication. The E, or maybe, whatever has to do with communication is the E. That was weird. That was weird. Somebody just did that to me. That was really weird. Anyways, okay. Yeah, there's some things I don't know. 88. When you bring the 3 card into 88, she makes your head. She has the one last one to make your head. And then on the bottom part of Venus, there's one thing that's not there. And you know what that is? When you go to the bathroom. The other part she puts over here. She puts one up here, one over here, and one down here. I'm just assuming. Again, the diamond goes in the center, the 4 areas. See the way this one here and this one here, they're separated. They're brought together by the clavicle. And just somehow, if you really want to see, so it happens they had a clavicle put on these hockey cards, right? And the bell at the same time. And they all lock. And you know what? They also have a small bell. Would that be the butterfly? What would this be? This is, one is a big bell, one is a small bell. Thank you for watching this video.